Oh, we are kind of out of chronological order. This is when we brought Pattie home from the hospital, and you can almost read Debbie's lips. She said, "You brought me my baby." And you were so thrilled and so excited. But after 2 weeks, I think you didn't think it was such a good idea that we brought you that baby. She was beginning to be a bit of a pain in the neck for you. Isn't that something? Now, that was the house on Bella Villa. And as I say, it was just coming home from the hospital. That's when I still learned to just wear that maternity dress home from the hospital, because that was the only thing that felt big by then. So this would have been August of 1952. Now watch, I'm going to let you hold that baby, and I'm going to let you squish her head. Oh, isn't that sweet? As I say, 2 weeks later, you probably could have turned her in for whatever. But you were so thrilled. So it was 2 girls, and it was so exciting because the Berger family had not had a Berger girl, since Aunt Blanche, who you saw in the photo earlier, was a little old, maybe 70 years. So Grandpa was so excited when Debbie was born and we found out she was a girl, that he sent, I think, 3 or 4 plants to the hospital. He called up Wolf's Florist, which is still there, and it's where I got my wedding flowers. But he called up and he said, send any little plants that look like they're for a girl. And then we had another girl. We had Pattie, which was just delightful. Then I thought, oh, I guess we're going to have all girl babies. But then the tide changed. So we were so blessed with those 2 girls to start with, who still today are just a joy. And as I always say, and as you always get so tired hearing it, it's so lucky your children grow up and you always love them, but it's really special that you can like them. And I loved you when you were that size, and I liked you. But I think I probably like you even better now that you're all grown up. But that is, as I say, August of 52. And that was the year that who was elected, because I remember I got to go and vote the day before. Let's see, Truman was elected in 48. So was that Eisenhower? Probably in 52. Because I can remember Eisenhower didn't think too much of Harry Truman and was not very gracious to him. But I think that might have been Eisenhower in 52. Good grief, I could go on Jeopardy if I've got all this stuff right. Isn't that nice? And my mother took care of Debbie while I was in the hospital. And I think she was so glad to see me get home because she was tired. And I can see in later years exactly what she meant. Because when you get older, it's tough. Mother used to always say, thank goodness God knew what he was doing, giving babies to the young. And that was so true. These old women that are now trying to have babies, they've got to be crazy. Holy cow, you're back in the tub. How did that happen? As I say, your father spliced this together. Oh, take that back. That's not Debbie. Maybe that's Pattie. That is Pattie, because that's a different sink. That's the only way I can tell. That's Pattie, and that was on Bella Villa. And there we are with the cute little bathtub pictures. And that was how I bathed you kids. In fact, with Tom and Jim, I guess it was, we had a double sink. There's Mother. And I would put one in each side of the sink. And you kids today are so nice letting your children play in the tub. I was not a very good mother when I think back, because it was let's get clean and move on. Oh, there's Pattie. Oh, we always wanted to get a movie of them starting to walk. And it seems to me that she kind of started walking a little bit. So we put her on the grass so it would be harder. Maybe that was one of the other kids. Who knows? It all kind of runs together. There she, whoops. No, that was in, that must have been when you were just starting to walk, Pattie. I think that's my mother standing behind you. There we are. Boy, you kids always did that dance. Boy, once you learned how to walk, you sure took off dancing, didn't you? Amazing. Now we're back to that. Your father spliced this. I just want you to know that was not my fault. Look there, you're still all dressed alike. That's my mother helping. Oh, and this is what that dog did all the time. You kids would get ready to start walking and the dog would back into you. Would you look at the white gloves? This was your first birthday party, Debbie. And, Janet, whatever, that lived on the corner. It was her birthday, and that's Judy and Janet Niebling and Dorothy Reed Betker. And you were going down to the corner to the birthday party for good old what's-her-name. And that was the first time you went to a birthday party, and you went any place, I think, without me. Dipping into the cake. That was kind of a tradition, and everybody that had a home movie camera, we all did the same thing, and we all thought we were so clever doing something different. Pattie, you're really going at that with gusto. But look how blonde your hair is, and remember on those other pictures how dark your hair was? Because when you were born, you had a head full of really dark hair. Oh, that's nice. Just squish it all over. Oh, boy. Can you believe that we sat there and watched everybody do that? And I bet that was the best cake you ever ate. If you could just remember it. You know, this has got to be kind of fun for the children of you children to see this and see that you were babies at one time. That's it. Just tear it open. You know how your mother taught you, do not dawdle opening presents, for crying out loud. You know, some people take their time and save the paper. It's just, let's move it along and open it. Oh, isn't that cute? I bet you've got some money in there. What a shot. Oh, now look at that. You're a year old and walking. Good for you. Who is that? Oh, that's Grandpa Burger. There's Pattie and Debbie. Oh, no, you know who that is? That's Kathy Burke. And that's Mike and Tim Burke. Grandpa Burger. There's Pattie again. Yeah, that was Mike and Tim and Kathy. I don't know whose lap that is. There's Grandma and Grandpa Burger. What are you doing, Grandpa? Oh, you're shaking hands. Oh, my God, we're back to that party with Ernst. I'm telling you, Bob, you really did some job in splicing these. But maybe it's still Pattie's birthday. No, it can't. This has got to be another birthday because Pattie was older when Ernst was there. I don't think she was a year old because I'll find out soon enough. What are you going to do with that cake, Ernst, for crying out loud? Well, here we go. Pattie, this is your birthday. You look like you're probably 2 at that time. You know, one reason that I think we've gotten all kind of goofied up on the sequence, at one point, Bob tried to put it together child-wise. And as I say, I think that's one reason it got kind of goofed up. And probably we also figured out, Dave, that you would have only had about 8 feet, which would have been a little embarrassing. My gosh, Pattie, you got another doll. Isn't that cool? Yeah, you've got enough hair that you had to be at least 2. Oh, isn't that sweet? You were always a good little kid. Oh, my goodness. Well, that sure beats blessing yourself every 2 minutes. Poor Debbie. She had to bless herself and you had to kiss. Didn't you know how to make the sign of the cross, for heaven's sakes? We should have worked on that. Okay, now I think you're a little bit big to put your hands inside the cake. Oh, you got a pocketbook. Boy, little girls today don't have purses or gloves or any of those things. Oh my gosh, you've got money in it. I mean, this is serious. Oh, and you even kissed that. Oh my God, you're a burger. There is Tom and Jim and Debbie. And, maybe that wasn't Jim. That is one of the Burke kids, I'm thinking. Probably Tim and Mike are. Tim or Mike. What in the world did you get? What is that? Underwear? Oh, for heaven's sake, that is Tim Burke. Either Tim or Mike, one of the two. Oh, there's Mike. So Tim was the other one. Oh, Debbie's being such a help. Oh, sure. That's Kathy Burke. Oh my gosh, you got more money? If you kiss it, Pattie, I'm going to faint. Oh, you did? Oh, you're going to be so embarrassed when you see that. Honestly, when you're kissing the money. See, and Debbie, I wish Debbie would make the sign of the cross and bless this whole scene. If you kiss one more dollar bill, Pattie. Good grief. I can't believe how much money you got. And I probably took it to Schnucks and spent it. That is Tim Burke. Oh, how many can't? 2. There you are. I guessed right. You're 2 years old. Oh, and that's Corrine behind you and Ann Burke, my mother. Mother's name was Hannah, and she hated it. And nowadays, Hannah's such a popular name, and it's such a beautiful name. I wish I would have named one of you children Hannah. Kathy Burke. That's Deanie's holding Kathy. That's me. Oh my gosh, there I am in a maternity dress again. Half my life was spent in maternity dresses, I think. Holy cow, here we go again. This is somebody making their first communion now. There's Pattie. There she is on the far side, making your first communion, and that would have been at Our Lady of Providence. Right, because we moved there when you were 5. Yeah, that's you, Pattie. And you're wearing the same dress that Debbie wore. And it's a dress that my mother bought for Deb. There's Tom. Hi, Tom. Oh, no, it wasn't Tom. Scratch that. I think it was Courtney Murphy. I was just getting a shot of him for Seal and Don. Sure, there's Our Lady of Providence Church. And that's Pattie. And there's Grandma. And there's Aunt Pat. And that's me doing the wave. Would you believe that hat? That's my Aunt Pearl there. And Mother and Bob. And there's Debbie and Pattie. Okay, this is in the backyard on Knowleshire. And, it was a riot. Every time we had a first communion, we had all those relatives there. I always managed to have the sink stop up. I don't know what I was doing. Look at now, there's Tom and Jim and Pattie and Bob. There's Mother and Grandpa. Oh, we're all praying again. There was Aunt Pearl. And there's Loretta. And there is somebody. And somebody else. Oh, somebody that's really skinny. It wasn't me. That's Jim and Tom. Oh, who was that? Was that John? There's Pattie and the 2 grandmothers. That's cute. Mother was a beautiful woman. She really was. And a good person. Grandma was cute. Grandma Berger, sorry about that. Didn't mean to leave you out. There's Loretta. I bet that's Warren with his back to us. And there was Grandma. There's Aunt Pat and Uncle Ray. Oh, and there's me. What am I doing for crying out loud? I'm wearing a corsage. Oh, there's Debbie when she was confirmed. And she took the name Bernadette. She was very devoted to Bernadette. And that was her confirmation name. and Aunt Pearl was in town at the time. And it seems to me there's Loretta and me and Grandma Berger. Keep going, I'm saying. That awful. Oh, I guess I was doing it even in those days. Look at the hat. Do you believe what we've dressed you kids in? Oh, you know what this is? This is when Debbie, that's Father Stano, sang a mass. Debbie was graduating from high school, and they were going to have their senior prom. So we thought it would be a good idea to start with a mass in the backyard. And that's what we did. And that's what this is in the backyard of our house on Whitehaven. Maybe it was Pattie's. No, it was Pattie's, that class that did it, not Debbie's. It was Pattie, because Debbie, we didn't live there when Debbie graduated from high school. This is Pattie's graduation from high school. And we started with the mass, and we served punch and cookies. And, ooh, look at the banner that we had. And that was Father Stano doing that, who is, as we speak, in Detroit. He was a good old family friend. Look at all those banners those girls made. Wasn't that a beautiful setting? That happens to be the same place where Debbie was married, in that backyard. And I don't think we have any movies of that. I guess we quit taking them by that time. But there were all the little girls in their formals and the boys in their tuxes. And that was, Pattie, when we had that dress made for you that turned out to be not a priceless thing, I've got to tell you. Maybe we won't even see you. But it was a pink dress that we thought was going to be gorgeous, but it didn't turn out to be just perfect.